Hi, Nick Osborne with the Personal Training Department Blueprint. Now that the new year's over and your rushes are over, it's time to really start looking at how to get new members and your old members involved in training. So in this video series, I'm going to put out the tips and tricks that I need you to do and a plan for your training department to kind of get ahead and start working with your members more and more and more so that your personal training, your training product, your coaching product, gets to make more and more money each and every week, each and every month, and each and every year. This is going to be key to really separating your business from everyone else's, reducing financial stress, and helping everybody that's in your company make more money so that they're happier. An employee that's making more money is generally a happier employee, especially your coaches or trainers. So in this video, I'm going to start out with the basics. Now, I've been told with some people that my videos are a little bit too long and too packed with information. So what I'm going to do is, instead of giving you a 30-minute video with an hour's worth of content, I'm going to give you about a 5-minute video, maybe a little bit longer, with 10 minutes worth of information in it. So this first video is all about the basics of what I'm going to show you, okay? So oftentimes, we want to get way ahead of where we truly are and what we're able to do with our training clients and with what we're teaching our personal trainers to do in achieving new clientele. So we're going to talk about the basics right now, and it's one of the things that every club that we work with the Personal Training Department Blueprint runs into. That's role playing. Now, I don't care if you've got the most perfect sales system or a crappy sales system. If you don't role play either one, you have no sales ability. So most personal training departments that we run into, their personal training sales are absolutely flat. And so what they look for is one person to sell for everybody. And I've got an entire video on why that does not work for most clubs. And the few clubs that it does work for, it only works for a very short period of time. But we'll go into that at some other point. So what we're going to cover today is role playing. This is what's going to separate an effective sales plan or an effective sales process from any other process. If you have a horrible plan, but you execute it flawlessly, you'll create sales. Now, what we do as owners or managers most of the time is we teach our trainers something once because we rarely have a training process for them, and we expect them to know it and to deliver it once. We might even role play, make them go through something 1 or 2 times to see if it works, if they have an idea of what we're doing, and then send them out to our members and expect them to do really well. But that doesn't ever work. Now, I've been a diver for probably 20 years. If I showed someone how to put all of this equipment together and put it on, and then I want them to dive to, say, 75 feet below the surface, which ends up being about 2.5 times the amount of surface pressure that you have here, and it becomes a dangerous situation. How many of your trainers, if I showed them once, maybe even showed them twice, are going to be comfortable if I take them out on a boat and lay this out and say, put it on and go diving? None of them would feel comfortable. None of them would want to get in the water. None of them would want to dive to 75 feet or more, no matter what's down there. There could be buried treasure, and most of your trainers still would not put the equipment on, not risk their lives, and not go through with it. This is a complicated situation. This is what we do as managers and owners of personal trainers, is we show them a complex or simple selling process, might even role play it 1 or 2 times, and then expect them to remember that and do it flawlessly. And it's never going to happen. There are too many fears that pop up into the trainer's mind. Fear of failure, even some fear of success. Not be able to produce results. There's all these fears of looking bad or not looking good to people. All of these things are in place without even getting into, am I doing the sales process right? So we need to make sure that we're setting them up for success. Now, most trainers do not like to do role playing because it makes them look silly. You put them in a situation that they're not good at something and then make them work to get better. And role playing really exposes what your trainers are not good at. That's the reason why we have to do it. Role-playing in practice is just like any other sport. We practice to get better. We practice so we don't have to think about it. It eliminates hesitation when we're with the client. It gives us confidence. It eliminates doubt. When we role-play something 10, 20, 50 times, all of a sudden, the process that we're going through disappears. We've got the process down so much, we don't think about it anymore. Not on autopilot and go dot to dot to dot, and I have to say this at this point. We're not talking about scripts. We're talking about a process and what we're trying to achieve, and get that trainer to know how to get there. And when we put them through, say, 50 role plays, all of a sudden that process becomes so ingrained in how we do things, it's not a process anymore. It just makes sense in what we do. There's a great book called The New Psycho-Cybernetics by MAXWELL. If you're an owner or a manager, please read that if you doubt the power of role-playing. It's an extremely powerful tool to getting the results that you want, especially when you're interacting with another human. Because there's so many variables that we can't plan for all the variations of everything that we're going to say. So we have to have the process and the practice to know how to deal with those things. Now your trainers, your coaches, are going to kick back and not want to role play. It's a waste of time, it's a waste of energy. I don't want to look stupid. It's just not what we do. I already know what I'm doing, I'm good enough. But these are all fronts to keep them from looking silly, not looking good, or learning. They don't ever want to look bad to you or to the client. And role-playing will expose what they're not good at. So you got to set the situation up that you're not judging them on what they're doing or the results. You're only there to help them get better so that they can get more clients, so more clients get results, and more clients will help their financial situation, and it also gives them the ability to get more referrals. That's what sales does, but we have to start, no matter what sales process we have to start with role playing. So that's what I really want you to work on this week. And we run into it also. We'll go and it'll be 3 or 4 weeks, then all of a sudden we'll go, wow, we haven't role played how to close at the end of a sample session. When we do our education seminars for our members on how to set up the nutrition software or how to foam roll, we don't have a close at the end of that. We had 50 people in a foam rolling seminar. We didn't pitch any of them at the end, so we got no sales. But if we have a great offer at the end and we're comfortable how to pitch that, I mean, how hard is it to get out of 50 people in a seminar to get 5 people to sign up for an equipment, a fitness assessment, or just sign up in a small group to get some results once a week for half an hour? We get 5 people paying $30 a half hour. That's a lot of money. It's $150 per that half an hour once a week. Times 4 weeks in a month, that's a lot of money. And the trainer gets to benefit in that. So practice, practice, practice. And when you think that you are getting close to really understanding it, you're only about halfway there. It should be a regular part of your training if you're an owner or a manager for each one of your staff. And don't take for granted that somebody's been there for 6 or 7 years, they don't need to role play. I find that the people that have been there the longest need to role play the most, because then when they get back into the process, their sales go up and they help everybody else in the process, your other coaches, do better and get better results. And it's a lot more fun to practice with your own staff than with people who have money, because the stress is through the roof. So, want to let you know, we do have our sales only product. So this is our sales and marketing system that teaches your trainers how to get new members into the training. It teaches you how to market and sell to your current members. So we go at both ends of the spectrum, new clients and old clients. That's on sale for the next week or so. It's 50% off your first month. So for under $50, you can sign 10 trainers up and start teaching them how to sell and market and raise their own income. Then you get to sit back, make sure that they're getting educated, they're getting through the system, and then you help them role play. You make sure that everybody's on the same page, everybody's got a process, and everybody's going to be successful. So if you're interested, click on the link below and get over to our sales only webpage. It's our cheapest product, but it's one of our most effective products because it not only teaches you what to do, but how to do it, and it teaches it to your entire staff. So again, you can have up to 10 personal trainers signed up with their own account and getting education provided by you for less than $50 for your first month. So until our next video, it's Nick Osborne with the Personal Training Department Blueprint, helping you create a great team of fitness professionals.